Good afternoon, everyone. So, back from festivities. Now, festival of knowledge and rationality to achieve lasting happiness of wisdom. Other happiness is short-lived. Yesterday, you must be very high. Today, feeling low. So, let's get started. What we studied yesterday. Last time, right? Corporate governance. What is corporate governance? The way the organization is directed and controlled. Adrian Cadbury, not Dairy Milk. Adrian Cadbury. Structure and behavioral aspects. That is the value aspect. Structure that should be board of directors, CEO, chairman, independent directors, and value aspect is. What are value aspects? Okay. Huh? Profit should not be the only motive, rather benefit to the society. That should be the basis of corporate governance. Accountability, transparency, financial disclosures, rightful financial disclosures, not creative accounting, and what else? Stakeholders, yes. Shareholders, only oriented shareholdery. Profit for shareholders was a traditional approach. Now, all stakeholders should be considered. Yes, shareholders. Then afterwards, some issues we discuss in corporate governance in India also. Lack of entrepreneurship and innovation, more of cut, copy, paste, control C, control V. And yes, family oriented business, all are family oriented, no big corporation. Then also various scams, how there is an excess corporate scams. Yes, a lot of things we discuss, I guess. And lastly, what was discussed? Problems here. Jet Airways example we discuss. How in India the board of directors are not truly independent. Board of directors in the West are independent. Mostly they removed Apple founder, Uber founder. But here we know Jet Airways case, board of directors were his personal. They were not listening to him. Ultimately what happened? Jet Airways came crashing down. Similar cases you can analyze. Yes Bank also, Yes Bank downfall. Then Vijay Mallya, Kingfisher Airlines, everything. How he diverted the loss, full defaulter he became. He had the capacity to pay, but still didn't pay and crashed his own company. This is what. Let's continue further on corporate governance, ethics in business, and corporate governance. Ethics in business and corporate governance. See, we all know business is based on which principle? Utilitarian, maximize the utility maximization, that is maximize benefit over cost. Then there will be efficiency in the organization. This is the guiding principle of corporate sector. Profit, so this will result in profit, but profit should not be earned by illegal means through corruption, scams, etc. Profit should be earned through entrepreneurship and innovation, and not from nexus, Babu Dome, etc. having nexus with the Babu culture. It should be owned by entrepreneurship, innovation, bringing new aspect, generation of wealth. This will result in generation of wealth, and generation of wealth should be for whom? Yes, generation of wealth to benefit the society. For that, there should be generation of wealth. A billionaire should not amass wealth for his luxurious lifestyle, but to benefit the society, luxurious wedding, etc. Especially in a country like India, where 81 crore people are dependent on food grains from the government. Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, home to most hungry people in the world. and how ethical it will be. A billionaire amassing crores of rupees and spending, lavish lifestyle. It's highly morally wrong. That's why there should be orientation towards benefit to the society. Business will make profit. Profit should be shared among who? Among stakeholders also. He will share among himself, invest in them with himself, employees, business and society. That should be how the profit should be shared, not everything amassing for himself. Now let's see business profit. Business corporate. So business makes profit. If it has corporate governance, it will share the profit among the founders, the stakeholders, shareholders, people, society, and also reinvest back in the business. Without corporate governance, what will happen? Amassing of wealth. So you can make here also no CG, then amassing of wealth. Now question to you, if you know what is corporate governance, then what is ethics in business? Corporate governance is the way the company is managed and controlled. That is corporate governance. What is ethics in business? Ethics in business is standards of ethics followed in ethics. But what are the difference between them now? Ethics in business and corporate governance. How are they different? So there can't be overlap then. Then why they are different? Ethics has been taught, corporate governance has been taught. So now it's your time for critically think on this. Yes. Try. No punishment for wrong answers. Okay. Yes. Except smiles, answer should also be there. Okay. Social skills along with intellectual skills are also. You tell your analysis what are similar. वो ethics in business है, corporate governance क्या? Same, a difference. So why those words are different? इसमें Ethics without business. Business without ethics is one sin. Gandhiji. Yes, ma'am. Try. No try.
How management of the business is implemented, and when these controls of business management involves established ethical standards, it becomes ethical to
This relationship. Okay. Ethics in business. Governance is altogether different.
So, what is the corporate of the practice of quality functioning business?
Ethics in business is more about earning profits. Okay. That is corporate minus corporate governance and minus ethics. That will be only profit. Then what is management? If ethics in business is about sales, all the teams, then what is management? Executing. But planning भी हो सकता है.
And ethics in
business. Establish standard in business.
For example, respectively, employer also.
Okay, some are able to tell on proper lines. This is structure plus behavior. That is values, I guess. This is values. That is the difference. This will take in the structure aspect also. Structure, you know. What is structure? That board of directors, independent directors, and it also takes into values also. So ethics in business, only values it talks about. So this is not proper. Rather, corporate governance encompasses ethics in business. That is the difference, minor difference, but you should know. Things if they ask how can corporate governance ensure ethics in business, then what you'll write? You'll write corporate governance only, or how ethics in business is necessary for corporate governance. This question becomes tricky without this finer understanding. So clear what is ethics in business? हाँ ऐसे भी बन सकता है corporate governance, ethics in business. ऐसा ये नहीं होगा. हाँ values, but ethics in business not necessarily ensures corporate governance. Corporate governance will have ethics in business. Okay, you're right. I guess ethics in business, corporate governance. Yes, structure will come. So this is the relation between. Write down this first, otherwise too much you have to write. Some good data also bought today. Help you further in corporate governance. In the end, I'll make you write some data also. Ethics in business and corporate governance. Ethics in business is as old as business itself. Ethics in business and corporate governance. Ethics in business is as old as business itself. Topic is ethics in business and corporate governance, and after that write down. Ethics in business is as old as business itself. Business is based on number 1, efficiency. Number 2, business should earn profit. Business should earn profit. However, profit should not be earned by wrong means. It is here ethics in business comes in the picture. Profit should not be earned by wrong means, and it is here ethics in business comes in picture. However, profit should not be earned by wrong means. Wrong means or wrong practices. It is here, and it is here ethics in business comes in picture. So, amassing wealth. So, amassing wealth should not be the aim of business. Rather, entrepreneurship and innovation. Entrepreneurship and innovation should be the aim. I write down entrepreneurship, innovation, and generation of wealth for benefit of the society should be there. Entrepreneurship, innovation, and generation of wealth for the benefit of the society should be the aim. That is, businessmen should not amass wealth. Businessmen should not amass wealth and become a billionaire. And live a luxurious life. Amass wealth and become billionaire and live a luxurious life. Rather, should generate wealth through right means and surplus should generate wealth To write means and surplus लिखो या profit लिखो should be invested among employees shareholders stakeholders business itself and society. See, make this diagram, it will be helpful. If you make, well and good. If you have not made yet, make this. Value aspects in business. Whether business is following the value aspects in ethics. I'll make you write, don't worry. And corporate governance encompasses values. It takes into account structure also. See, small mom and pop store may not have that structure of board of directors, etc. So for them, it's only ethics in business. Big corporations have corporate governance, structure plus values. Moms and pop store are not entrepreneurial also. We discussed how they are not innovating in the midst of fourth industrial revolution and digital technologies. They still want minimum order. They are not changing that attitude towards customers. They are not thinking customer is the king. They think I am the king. Huh? किसको? Percentage of wealth. Not how everything should be. Then you should invest in business also. Some should go to founders, employees. If these people are unhappy, how you can make profit? There are employees, lot of employees in organization. Like we discussed, if a person thinks this company is his own, he is very wrong. The company belongs to the society. And the company is going to die very soon. Many companies died. Nokia, BlackBerry, not able to innovate. Nokia is far ahead, I guess, from Apple. Apple bought 3G, Nokia was already on 4G or 5G. And then death happened of Nokia. Many you go observe from your surrounding also, many shops must have closed down. Observe that, you study, you will come to know this. Not able to innovate according to the changing environment, the organization is going to face entropy. That is death. Any organization, any profession, you also don't innovate, you will also be shunned out from the organization. That is, there exists an equilibrium, contribution satisfaction equilibrium. How much you are contributing, how much you are getting, that should be equilibrium, there should be balance. Summation of your contributions should be more than the individual contribution. Then profit will happen, then you will get raises and everything. If summation of contribution is small by individual employees, there will be loss in an organization. Not useful for you guys. So right, ethics in business indicates, ये बना लिया सबने? Ethics in business indicates value aspect. Ethics in business indicates value aspects, whereas corporate governance indicates structural and value aspect both. Corporate governance encompasses ethics in business as well. Corporate governance, structure plus value, both have value aspects in common. Corporate governance encompasses ethics in business as well. Swami Vivekananda said, even if people go sleep hungry, every person with wealth is a criminal. If people sleep empty stomach, every person with wealth is a criminal. Question comes on quotes. Three questions comes in the mains. 3 quotes will be given. You have to break down. Every person with wealth is a criminal. Wealth, if a people sleep empty stomach, every person with wealth is a criminal. It's a simple code. What's so complicated in this? Let's move further. Compassionate capitalism. See, some background before we discuss compassionate capital. A business is, we all know, based on profit principle, that profit benefit to the organization should be more than the cost. So it increases efficiency and profit. Okay, benefit should be more than cost. But if benefit goes down, profit goes down, what organization does? Yes, cost cutting. It fires many employees. It removes employees in the organization. Their motive is clear. If you make profit, you will be there, or you will be removed from that organization. Also, many COVID waves happen. Post-COVID wave, even now, lot of layoffs are happening. They are firing many people. And also, we know that Cognizant recently made that freshers will be given a salary of 2.2 lakh per year. Engineers, freshers, 2.2 lakh per annum. And the CEO is having a hefty package, 160 crores plus many benefits they have. This is cash they are getting. They get ownership, shareholders also. Lot of benefits, perks and privileges are immense. Then what is this? This is chronic. This is capitalism. Okay, benefit to attracting talent, but what about compassion? Compassion is absent. That is, Narayan Murthy had talked about compassionate capitalism, especially for a country like India. Compassionate capitalism is required. What is compassion? You all know what is compassion. What is compassion? It has been, yes, feeling the man, and that compassion should come in capitalism also. He says India not only the corporate has a responsibility towards earning profit, but it also has socio-economic responsibility as well. Socio-economic. Okay. Secondly, further he talks about whenever some waves are happening like this, unemployment wave, etc. are coming, it should be the top management first. That should be retrenched, not the lower management. Lower management lives hand to mouth, not lower employees. So it says top management should be first for layoffs, etc. And also it says whenever the profit is made, high percentage of profit should be distributed among lower employees rather than hefty increase in pay of the top level employees. So one is profit should be distributed among lower level employees. He further says, whenever even a cut in salary, it should be the top management should be the first to take cuts in the salary, not the lower management. This is what he talks about compassionate capitalism. He further says that there is a responsibility among the corporates towards the nation. This is more similar to the Gandhian model of trusteeship. People with wealth are trustees of people who, yes, it belongs to everyone. That is compassionate capitalism of him. Basically, he advocates ethics in business, self-discipline, and desires to control Western model of capitalism. He further says Western model is not suitable. We all know Western countries are homogeneous society. There is no diffraction or differentiation to that extent. But another criticism is talent. He also says the gap between the top management people and the lower management should be less. CEO, very hefty salary they draw, I guess. Lower management, see 2.2 lakh and 160 plus crore, see the difference. He further says, but talent, we all know, highly talented individuals are very rare. They will come to your organization if you offer them good incentives. So you may not attract talent with this. Also, see, okay, in India you follow compassionate capitalism, but how you will go global? Global, if you're competing with Western companies, and here we have Indian companies. Here Western, they are profit motive only. Here social, economic, and everything motive. So you're creating PSUs out of private sector. Then they won't be able to compete also with the Western countries, and investment may not also come. Why talent will come here? This company is giving suppose X crores. In this company, why in Western countries is given X plus 100 crores? Then why the talent will come? So to attract talent should be respected. Very few talented people are there, highly talented. In a corporate sector, we all know they make their own companies also. To attract and retain talent, salary should also be there. So that is the criticism of compassionate capitalism. Now something we'll discuss about corporate social responsibility as well. Any issues with compassionate capitalism, you can also connect with what? Trusteeship model. Yes, trusteeship model and on similar lines also. Okay. Trustee. What is trusteeship model? It says the people. Yes. Yes, you are just a trustee of them. Trustee. You understand trust. Trust does a lot of things. Social service also, so that they are trustees of that. That is trusteeship model. What is he talks about human values, etc. Now, Narayan Murthy ji, compassion. Yes, 70 hours also you should work. Time goes, people's thinking also change. This was given few years back, compassionate capitalism now. 70 hours work week. Already in our country, many people work more than 70 hours. Swiggy, that gig workers, Uber, etc. They work like this 24/7. They don't sleep. See, many cities are very expensive. How can you afford to buy one car, sleep at that, eat that, and do everything in the car zone? You see that lifestyle. That's why regulation of gig workers is also needed. Gig economy, because a lot of exploitation happens. And what there is regulation today, they are taking suppose 10% commission. Tomorrow the companies will take 50% commission, 25% now. You go on increasing. What they can want to do? It's just an internet platform. One small office they have everywhere. On all internet, they don't even own cars or resources. Yes. Yes. Then what are you going to do? This is a high level of exploitation happens in gig workers. So what is CSR? I guess many people know briefly CSR. See, See, compassionate capitalism is already many followed in many Scandinavian countries. They follow compassionate capitalism only. That's why happiness index, everything, human development index, they rank very high. Scandinavian countries, Sweden, Finland, Norway. Yes, CSR, corporate social responsibility. They have social responsibility also. We discuss how in that the 2000 Companies Act of 2013, CSR was formalized 2% of the profit. But see, CSR etc. is as old as society in India. People, businessmen were first donating to whom? Temples to do charity etc. From there, it was doing charity. Also, before CSR concept, many corporates in India were also doing social service. Tatas etc. Long history of Tatas doing social service. Many education did Tata Institute of Social Science, TFR. If I guess TFR also, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. Why corporate will invest in research in social sciences? This, why a corporate will invest? For benefit of the society only. It is many social audits they do. Many, I guess, many Bihar, some exploitation of women was also exposed by this only. So it is not a new concept in India. It is as old as business in India. Now it has been just formalized, and ethics and social responsibility go hand in hand. Tata's, Birla's, Godrej were previously known for this, but now it's formalized. In India, business and social responsibility go hand in hand. In Western countries, business and social responsibility are separate. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, CSR. This is Bill Gates doing Windows. This and CSR is different. Bill and Gates Foundation and Tata. Previously, it was only one company and CSR cohesive. Now, I guess they have also separated Tata Trust and everything for that CSR activities. So it basically it is a bottom-up approach. That is, people from the below should benefit. They are the main stakeholders. Secondly, if society thinks it can survive without business, that society is going to die. Society cannot survive without business. With business environment. How you can justify this? Society cannot survive without business environment. Green Revolution was by, I guess, Norman Borlaug. That seeds. Government ने किया ना? Yes. Developed country manufacturing is important. For developed. Okay. You tell what. I'll forget, that's why I written down here. I'll explain this also. Yes. How society cannot survive without business environment. Everything has been taught. You have to just interlink. तो ये कुछ सुना था CCI, कॉम्पिटिशन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया. तो ये कंपटीशन जब जियो चल रहा था, क्या हुआ यहाँ पे? जियो फ्री अच्छा कंपटीशन तो था ही फिर.
So society trying to with major player every space, collaboration and and business environment innovative.
See, discussion is going on GS4 paper. Don't give explanation of GS3 economics. That's why people get below average marks. They write GS2, GS3 in ethics. Don't take otherwise. It's for your learning. That's why I'm telling. Okay. Everyone is a learner. Economics. Good. Economics. But Adam Smith. Invisible hand. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Without business environment, there will be absolute state. Absolute state will be all encompassing. Absolute state, you remember absolute state? North Korea, absolute state. No freedom to individuals to innovate. No equality principle. So equality principle should be priority. Equality principle will happen when business works on utilitarian philosophy, freedom, maximizing utility. So without business, any society cannot survive because there will be an absolute state. State will be powerful and no environment to meet for people to meet their ethical egoism, ethical egoistic needs to maximize their utility. No scope for ethical altruism as well. So it cannot survive. That way you have to think. It's ethics paper. See, that's why many questions are trapping questions in UPSC also. You go and see papers, GS2 question you will see. You write GS2. You may fetch marks there in GS2 but not in ethics. So also today there is also what we were talking. Developed country manufacturing. US, US, the most developed country. How much manufacturing it happens there? It's all outsourced to West, to East, Vietnam, Bangladesh, India. Developed countries, services, not manufacturing. Developing country, manufacturing is required. The problem with India is, see, agriculture, primary activities, secondary, tertiary. Secondary is manufacturing, tertiary services. Problem with India is it's moved from year to year. This was largely bypassed manufacturing. That's why a lot of inequality. Where is manufacturing? So that's why that reform laws, though intention was not proper, but reforms will happen only. This will promote, the farm laws will promote food processing industry. Then manufacturing will happen, and this excess agricultural laborers will come to manufacturing sector. That is, disguised employment will come down. So that this is required, manufacturing. Many times question on GS3 in GS3 has come on this also. You go and open pass, this is the favorite. It will come this year, next year, it will keep coming. So CSR we are talking about. See, the modern theories also now talk of why CSR is not modern theory, theory of justice. Everything talks about differential principle. That is, people having wealth has a responsibility towards people who don't have wealth. This rich people have responsibility towards poor people. That's why social justice is needed, and corporate governance seeks to promote this social justice, social welfare. So you can connect theory of justice also here. Okay, and yes, government 2%, they have to give net profit to corporate social responsibility. It is estimated it generates around 55 lakh crore every year for corporate social responsibility in India. What are the positives of CSR? Yes. What are positives? CSR does not, corporates do not directly implement social activities. They implement via an NGO, civil society. So it promotes a cohesion between the various actors, government, NGO, CSO, and people. A cohesive partnership is development activities. That is bottom-up development approach to, that is people are also involved in development, that is CSR. Also, funding happens to sustainable development goals, health, education, etc. That is social sector finds its funding. That is largely benefit of CSR. And what are the negatives in CSR in India? CSR पढ़ा हो पढ़ा नहीं पढ़ा क्या? Yes, to branding their image. That is true. It is used as a marketing tool. You brand your image. ITC schools, ITC colleges, ITC food. You go see. Brand is it used as a marketing tool, but many companies still don't contribute to CSR. They show creative accounting. That is, they don't show that profit is taking place. They suppress profits to escape from CSR activities. And the most simplest form of CSR is Prime Minister's Relief Fund. You know, Relief Fund. There they contribute 2%. This is our CSR contribution. But this is not the main intention. There should be this cohesion, partnership, participative development. I guess around 60 to 70% of CSR is this. Contribute directly to the Prime Minister's Relief Fund. Do check the figures. I'm not sure, but the last time I read, I guess 60 to 70% of CSR contribution is to Prime Minister's Relief Fund. COVID में कौन सा fund था वो? PM Cares. No auditing, nothing. PM Cares, well, money went. People gave money. PM Cares, cyber crime also. Many people created that UPI also. PM Cares. PM Cares, I guess it was at as OKSBI. Then people load double S. They created UPI also. When a scam happens, cyber scam, you can relate with. So this is largely CSR. Briefly, I have told, not much required to go in depth. Any issues with CSR, compassionate capitalism, etc.? The no business environment means what? State is all encompassing. State is everywhere. State is a nanny state. That is, state is responsible for your each and every need. Like a mother, the state will take care of your citizens. A nanny state. So, pre-1992. Yes. North Korea. But China business environment promotes. Society promotes business environment. What does business environment mean? People get an environment to maximize their utility, maximize their freedom. So without business environment, how one can maximize their utility? There will be more restrictions on freedoms, individuals' freedom, rights, liberties. No business environment. Business means freedom. Western countries, societies, so many times we talked about, they have a lot of freedom. Totally protesting ethic and spirit of capitalism. That's why they are very developed, unlike our countries. Unlike our country, not countries. So, should we write now? Write compassionate capitalism. Since business is based on efficiency, This is alright. It says business is based on utilitarian philosophy. Business is based on utilitarian philosophy. Everyone remembers utilitarian philosophy. It is good for greatest number of people. That is, benefits should be more than cost. Will result in increased efficiency. Benefits should increased efficiency, not decreased. So will result in increased efficiency. Result in increased efficiency. Higher profits. Businesses have remained confined to such values. Businesses, higher profits. Businesses have remained confined to such values. But in contemporary times, such values are posing several challenges. But in contemporary times, such values are posing several challenges. Right, first, efficiency and profit criteria is disrespecting efficiency and profit criteria is disrespecting social security. Disrespecting social security due to the increasing role of technology. Artificial intelligence. There is huge loss of employment. There is huge loss of employment. There is huge loss of employment. Also, post-COVID, continue further. Also, post-COVID, there was mass layoffs. So, post-COVID, there was mass layoffs. There was mass layoff or retrenchment of employees. Yes, state is monopolist. They won't compete. They will go. They will propagate that how North Korea does. Yeah, this is what it is. This is development. Yes, you worship the leader. So this year also in 2023 means good quote of Gandhiji came. I guess one should be driven by values, not driven by deeds or something was there. Rather than essence was that your conduct should be values oriented, not by worshipping people. That was the essence of that quote. This year's means only, I guess. This year's means 2023 means. See all the questions you have thoroughly. If you read all this, you will be able to answer all the questions. The challenge lies in understanding the question and interlinking with what we have taught and writing that. That is a real challenge. Everything is being talked to you. Content has been provided, and some part are remaining. They will be provided. The challenge is critical thinking and understanding the question. That will remain a challenge. As far as foundation aspects have been largely cleared and will be cleared, whatever remaining is. Okay. So don't run behind content. Run behind understanding questions, everything. That is what that you have to do. I can't do for you. Next point, right? To remain profitable. Some questions are directly simply what we have discussed that have also come. To remain profitable in global environment, there is fierce competition. To remain profitable in the global environment, there is fierce competition for hiring talent. At the highest level. To remain profitable in the global environment, there is fierce competition for hiring talent at the highest level. In this background, compassionate capitalism has been emphasized by Narayan Murthy. That is, India should follow this principle. India should follow this principle rather than the capitalism of the West. It has the following characteristics. That is, compassionate capitalism has the following characteristics. First, corporate sector should own some social responsibility. As it is done in Scandinavian countries. Scandinavian countries. Second point, when the country is having surplus, when the company is having surplus, the benefit should not only go to the top level but also bottom level employees. The benefit should not only go towards the top level employees but also towards the bottom level employees. Next point, there should be a cap on the highest salary. Cap on the highest salary. Next point, when company profits go down, when the company's profit goes down, first there should be reduction in benefit. First, there should be reduction in benefit of top level employees. First, there should be reduction in benefit of top level employees. First, there should be reduction in benefit of top level employees rather than lower level employees. So write in next para. Basically, he wants to advocate. Basically, he advocates ethics in business. Ethics in business based on self-discipline. Rather than desires and greediness of Western capitalism. Rather than desires and greediness of Western capitalism. Desires and greediness of Western capitalism. As India is still a poor country, India is still a poor country with 81 crore people. 81 crore people dependent on food grains from the government. Dependent for food grains from the government. It is morally wrong for some people to live a luxurious life. Right here, that compassionate capitalism goes beyond corporate governance. Compassionate capitalism goes beyond corporate governance. This is for your understanding. Right, some goes beyond corporate governance. Talks about this, no? Ethics in corporate governance doesn't talk about cut from the top. It says there should be efficiency, accountability, transparency. Values, what values? Yes, benefit to the society. Then whether it talks about minor aspects, finer aspects, that when surplus profit is increasing, benefit should be for society. Benefit, how much benefit? 50%, 10%, 1%. So here it talks about that profit should be shared equally among lower level employees and bottom level employees. So in more finer aspects it talks about compassionate capitalism. So write the other side of compassionate capitalism. It is difficult to implement. Due to globalization, a need of company to remain competitive globally, need for the company to remain competitive globally, otherwise it will not be able to acquire talent. For acquiring good talent, it has to pay the market price. For acquiring good talent, it has to pay the market price. See, I guess 2008 financial crisis happened. That time, I guess Citibank CEO was taking 1 rupee as salary. So Western also they were. Vikram Pandit was the CEO, I guess, of Citibank that time. See, whatever he talks about now, he talks about 70 hours a week. Okay, but that compassionate capitalism plus 70 hours a week, what will happen? Profit will come to these people only. That's so. It is not antithesis. It is also extension. He didn't explain further. He just talked about 70 hours a week. Narayan Murthy should have talked about compassionate capitalism also. How it can generate wealth among poor also. 70 hours a week. Narayan Murthy. Okay. Compassion 70 hours a week. Plus compassionate capitalism. We promote inclusive development, bottom up development. Faster growth, faster and sustainable and inclusive growth. 12-year, 5-year plan is faster, sustainable and inclusive. $70 a week plus compassionate capitalism. Compassionate capitalism. Narayan Murthy, few years back, was giving this philosophy. See, India is developing. Yes, but when industrial revolution happened, that time they were working very hard, but not I guess 70 hours a week, but they were working. India since independence is still a developing country. That is yes, because they have work and life balance also. That is also their quality of life is good, but they already developed. But that time also there was work and life. It was not that much exploitation. Yes, initially there was exploitation also You would have you read. Yes, yes. In first industrial revolution happening, children used to work 12 to 13 hours a day. That time, I guess 8 hours children were working, I guess, and women for 12 hours. I guess they had to stand also. Then no sitting facilities was also there. Then reforms came. Yes, see, India also, many people is in India are very lazy and docile also. We also need to accept that also. Many people have the Western, that China, Indian people are very docile. That is just true to a certain extent also. People don't work that much in this country. They want easy money. Hard working are very few. You also go when you work in organization, you come to know in private sector also people don't do. Many started a moonlighting. I guess he want, I guess, moonlighting also. You know what is moonlighting? Everyone knows, should I tell? Moonlighting, you do one job in the morning, working COVID, work from home, you're working for company A, at the night you work for company B. You're working at two companies and both may be competitors also. Nehru and Murthy want, don't do moonlighting. You'll be fired from other or from the organization. Many people did this. That's why people in COVID see the morality and work culture of one of my friend. He went out somewhere and he told one of his friends, just keep refreshing that window so that the company is not I am online. See, work culture, work ethics, what to say now? What I will also say, they'll say you called me out, why you blaming me? Morning working hours, 9 to 5 I guess. Work from home, no office, nothing, no time wasted. So 6 to 10 you work from other company, earn double money. That is moonless. That is this not doesn't happen in the West. 9 to 5, from evening 5 they will have social evenings. They'll enjoy their social relations there. And you can't even call the employees in West after office hours. Here people call on festivals also to work. Work culture very bad. At days of 70-hour week, but we also fix the work culture also. Also ensure compassionate capitalism. Right now CSR. In India, business and social responsibility has been inseparable. Under CSR, in India, corporate social responsibility. Under the in India, business and social responsibility has been inseparable. In India, business and social responsibility has been inseparable. CSR stands for corporate social responsibility. In India, business and social responsibility has been inseparable since ancient times. Like people used to donate their income to temples, etc., which used to do charity. Business people used to donate their income to religious institutions like temples, who used to carry out charity work. Also, Tata's, Birla's, Godrej, used to do charity work long before CSR came into being. Used to do charity work long before CSR came to being, or CSR was known, or CSR happened. Okay. It has following CSR, right? It has following characteristics. Like it has following intentions, right? Not characteristics, intentions. CSR has following intentions. First, promotes bottom-up pyramid concept. Promotes bottom-up pyramid concept. Bottom-up pyramid concept. It says that business cannot expand. Yes, bottom-up pyramid concept. It says that business cannot expand unless it focuses on bottom level. Business cannot expand unless it focuses on bottom level, especially the poor section of the society. Second, if society is not suitable for business, it will not sustain. Next point, there has been a greater emphasis on social justice, due to the impact of, there has been greater emphasis on social justice due to the impact of Rawls' theory of justice. Next, government has introduced legally binding mechanism of social responsibility in the Companies Act of social responsibility Companies Act 2013, that 2% of net profit. In the Companies Act 2013, 2% of the net profit should go to CSR. Net profit should go to CSR. Now write some positives. What has happened since 2013? cohesive relation between corporate CSR and civil society. Cohesive relation between corporate CSO, right? CSO, civil society organization and people. Cohesive relation between corporates, civil societies, NGOs, people for social welfare. Right? Voluntary organization also, if you want to write more. CSO, NGO, views for social welfare. Next, funds getting channelized. Funds getting channelized to activities related to sustainable development goals. Especially health, education and sanitation. Especially health, education and sanitation. Okay, write negatives. Many companies still do not contribute to CSR. CSR is used as a marketing tool. Next point, CSR is used as a marketing tool. Manipulating accounts to show less profit. Manipulating accounts to show less profit. Next, the increasing trend to contribute to PM Relief Fund. PM Relief Fund rather than directly taking social responsibility. See some data for you. Refinity survey they conducted. Refinity, how will you remember finity? You understand finite? Refinity, 84% of some positives, it had identified it is 84% of companies publish CSR. 58, the trend globally is only 58%. Globally, only 58% of companies publish CSR. 81% companies have a policy on bribe, policy against bribe. Negatives it found 90% have less than 20% women on the board, that is on the board of members. Right, it will be helpful. Huh? ये टाटा ट्रस्ट के अंडर है रिफिनिटी सर्वे वाज कंडक्टेड yes for India. This on CSR it found these trends. 84% companies publish CSR. 58, the global trend is 58%. 81% of Indian companies have policy on bribe. Negative it found negative it found less than 90% have less than 20% women on the board of members. Further also
So,
58. Publish reports on CSR. Yes, will be helpful in enriching answer. You remember that triangle enrichment. Huh? This is just helpful for you. Maybe for corporate governance you can use this. हो गया सबका? One more data, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. It found senior management position. Woman 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Men 1.7 lakh. So importance. Board of directors. See, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation published a report, Women in something it, but this report, Women in Corporate. So It says senior management position, women are 34,789 in senior management position and men are 1.87 lakh. Senior management position which are decision makers, also called as golden collar, I guess, tertiary collar or golden collar. So decision making highest, yes, they perform CEO, CFO, company secretary. Women only 34,000, men are 1.87 lakh. In board of directors, women are only 7.6 lakh and men are 19.7 lakh. So see the difference, huge difference. Corporate world, civil services also huge difference. Very few women come in civil services. But what the let's study is report published by UPSC. I guess it was inferred that though women are less in UPSC, but among the aspirants, success rate of women is higher than men. The success rate is higher. How many apply? Success rate is higher for women than men in civil services. Also, it further talks of many things that still urban domination is there. People from urban area clear civil services more than people from rural area. Though the gap is narrowing, still huge gap is there. Also, technical people are clearing more than social science background. Not much useful for you people. This data will be helpful in enriching your answers. Try to remember figures. If you're not able to remember exact, write approximate 35,000. Here, if you not remember, approximate 2 lakhs. Okay, this way also you can write approximate 7 lakhs, approximate 20 lakhs. This also works. If you are not able to remember these exact figures, this is given by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So government figures will highly enrich your answers. Report की उसमें ये डेटा दिया था उन्होंने. Also further it says that woman role in corporate any organization cannot be overstated. We all know how it can bring transformative leadership. A Harvard Business Review study we have discussed. Also we have found that woman in leadership position gives more emphasis on health, education, so social development happens, governance, etc. See how we see this. We're talking about how corporate works for profit. Now many organizations, they have high incomes above, low incomes below. That and also they employ very few people. Goldman Sachs, one of the biggest corporate, revenue of how much? $46 billion. How many employees must be there in Goldman Sachs? All over the world they have offices. How many employees must be there? Anyone guess कितने हो सकते? 10 लाख, 50 लाख, हाँ? हाँ? Only 45,000 employees are there. A small state in India will have state government employees 1 to 2 lakh. Big state will have 10 to 15 lakh state government employees. See this revenue and see the employees. Also, we know that state of California has GDP of $3 trillion. And how much is the population of this state? Only 4 crores. In India, if you club 2 metro cities, that population, that much it will be. Mumbai or Delhi population will be over 4 crores. Near one state generating $3.3 trillion GDP and population of 4 crores. Corporate. Now we also, I was not able to find the figures. How many people work in Silicon Valley? That will be even low, I guess. 1 or 2 lakh only people must be working in Silicon Valley. See this profit, $3 trillion. So corporate governance ends here. Any doubts, issues regarding corporate governance? Should we move? It goes beyond corporate governance, ethics in business. It's more or less same only, ethics in business and compassionate capitalism. It talks about values, this also talks about that. Differences between corporate governance and compassionate capitalism. So let's move to ethics in IR. Compassionate capitalism. See, it doesn't talk about, it talks about benefit to the society. This talks about finer aspects, how much profit should be given. It says that whenever there is some losses are happening, the top level management should be first to bear the losses, not the bottom. When there is retrenchment, retrenchment should happen at the top, not in the bottom. Corporate governance, what it says? Benefit to the society, it just takes broader things. Doesn't talk about finer aspects. Benefit to the society. Benefit to the society, retrenchment happens. They have to do retrenchment. They have to lay off. They can lay off anyone. Profiters are low. It will be there because it stands on profit principle. They have to lay off. Loss nahi hoga to company will die otherwise. But lay off whom? Yes, top, not bottom. CEO draws hefty salary. Here you are cutting salary. Suppose 50,000 you are making 40,000, and here 160 crores is earning. That is how it is. Now, what is this ethics in IR? क्या हो गया? कुछ मिस हो गया सिलेबस में? हर कंट्री की एथिकल वैल्यूज होगी तो वो मॉरलिटी होगी. एथिक्स कैसे होगा वो? Technical difference, I think it's been taught a lot. Ethics versus morality. Ethics is universal standards. Which established standards? Yes, following established standards in ethics is ethics in international relations. You understand what is international relations? पता है सबको international relations, what kind of relationship country A can have on country B. How countries came into being? Treaty of Westphalia. They demarcated territory. This territory forms territorial integrity. This becomes the sovereignty. Treaty of Westphalia. Just after that, this concept came into being. And how the relations should be guided between two countries. That is international relations. International relation can be economic, social, political, everything. We read in GS2. So ethics in IR means what should be the standards should be maintained between two countries, ethical standards, that is ethics in IR. What are the certain standards? Respect each.
Justice.
Yes, justice is also outcome. First is it should respect each other country based on equality. Relationship should be based on equality. Then there should be respect for independence and sovereignty. Yes, punctual is also will come there. Ethics, following standards of ethics in international relationship. Some of the standards are having respect for each other country on the basis of equality. Every country should be treated equal. No zero-sum game. No big fish not eating small fish. There should not be a fish rule. That is equality. That's why I see not big fish rule. Bhutan, Nepal are small countries. Still, yes, no big brother. Attitude should be no big brother. There should be elder brother attitude, not big brother. Respect each other on the basis of equality. Respect for independence and sovereignty. Respecting human values, human rights. Promoting interdependence rather than independence. Understand importance of this, promoting interdependence rather than independence. Working for common good, known as global commons. Therefore, nations should have some interface on this in aspects. Then there will be ethics in international relations. Understood something? Bouncers. I'll explain, don't worry. We'll dwell into deeper aspects also. Respect each other on the basis of equality. Doubt? Every country should be considered equal. There should not be a fish rule. Big countries should not gallop small countries. Big fish should not eat smaller fish. Happens in ocean, big fish eat smaller fish. This should not. Respecting independence and sovereignty. You understand sovereignty. If you don't understand, you understand territorial integrity. Respect that. That is respecting human rights and human values. Even in war, human rights and human values are given highest priority. But Israel-Palestine, we know, a lot of bad things are happening. Working for common good. Common good, they should promote common good, common for humanity. What is human goals? Promoting interdependence than independence. Or someone tell how this is very important. Interdependence than independence. Very significant in peaceful relations between countries. Interdependence. Yes, than independence. Helping each other. How is that interdependence? Discuss with me. Next time, you both sit separate. Okay. I think a lot of lectures are happening still. Why so much isolation? Be participating. What's wrong in that? Independence होगा ना? Feelings, only feelings should be there between countries of interdependence. Very funny. See,
Just don't be options.
Vasudev Kutumbakam says world is one family. So territorial integrity negates. Everyone is one. Yes, yes. Yes, to a certain extent, but I was looking for more precise example. World War II happened between which countries? European countries. Now they are the most peaceful countries. Mostly because of interdependence, economic zone. Economically, they are interdependent on each other. A war will ensure breaking of that interdependence. So much they are intertwined that they promote interdependence rather than independence. There is no independent country in true sense in European Union. Common currency, common trade, Sanjan visa, I guess. Everyone can go, has that visa, all countries you can visit. Similar strategy was employed in India versus Pakistan. Economic trade, interdependence, trade, bus diplomacy, cricket diplomacy, Bollywood diplomacy, interdependence. So war, no need of war. And ethics in business also. How business can promote good environment, and without business, society cannot survive. So that is interdependence rather than independence. North Korea is independent from rest of the world, isolated. So that's why it's always gunning for war. Iran, etc. also sanctions they give later they then again become more aggressive. Israel, Palestine also. No, interdependence is there, but intention matters. Total chaotic. So this is what interdependence. Why interdependence is important? We see the significance in terms of European Union. How the warring nations that two world wars between European nations. Total interdependence. That is how China also trying to do, but trying to intention is wrong. Colonize, give loans to smaller countries and get trapped in the debt trap. Total dependence. This is not interdependence, total dependence. Yes, our neighbors. This is what should be ethics in IR. Write briefly this, then we'll discuss the theoretical perspective. Ethics in IR means relations among nations, relations among nations should be conducted on the basis of some ethical standards. Such as should be conducted on the basis of some ethical standards, such as first, respect to each other, on the basis of equality, respecting independence and sovereignty. respecting human rights and human values. Respecting human rights and human values. Promoting interdependence, rather than independence. Next, working for common good. Working for common good. For the society. That is entire humankind. Entire humankind known as global common good. That global common good. That is entire humankind known as global common good. Therefore, when nations have their interface, in terms of social, economic, and political relations, they should follow certain standards. Now, second aspect, theoretical perspective. So, now understand things. See, ethics in IR is certain standards which have to be followed in international relations. That is ethics in IR. This is as old as international relations, I guess. In the ancient time also, there were certain standards between nations, how they should deal. Kautilya, I guess, talks about ethics in IR. He talks about ethics in Sam, Dan, Nana Bheda, I guess. First, so he talks about other aspects of ethics in IR that he takes into account. He also says there should be a diplomat also in each. They should say, yes, facilitate. But he talks in evil sense, I guess he should. He also talks about good things. He talks also that neighbor is your enemy, neighbor's neighbor is your friend. He talks about neighbor is your enemy and neighbor's neighbor is your friend. Our neighbor, Pakistan, is your enemy and Afghanistan is your friend. So also Russia, China, but China is also our enemy. Russia is our friend, but not necessarily. US and Canada are friends, neighbors. So yes, that time it may be valid. Today in India's context is valid also, but Sri Lanka is not our enemy. Bhutan is not our enemy. Yes, you know. no conflict at all. So that he talks about that intention was that he also talked about ethics in IR. Also, Indian philosophy, Indian territory has been all about peace and harmony, and it's welcoming to people from other countries. That is, it was already inherent, these theoretical aspects of international relations in ethics. In the modern times, the concept of territorial integrity was born. Independence came with interdependence. Independence, Treaty of Westphalia, the concept of territory, that this is my border, this is my territory, and there should be a relation based on interdependence, independence with interdependence, due to which most important value became human values. Human values should be promoted and it should be propagated in the relations between two countries. Even we know Mahatma Gandhi, what? Yes, Mahatma Gandhi all said human values should be at the top. Yes, then nationalism patrol, he was against territorial occupation and against propagating territorial culture. He totally rejected territorial superiority. You understand territorial superiority? That this is not superior. Your borders are not superior, but human values are superior. That should be there. See, that's what I guess Nehru also in that Tryst with Destiny, he talked about human values. How he defined the relation between India and Pakistan. You are of us and shall remain of us. Will be part of your joy and sorrow. That is no territorial integrity. Human values. Which agency acts as a moral guiding force for international relations? Yes, United Nations does lot of research on how ethics should be there in international relations, and it has given certain standards also that human rights should be remain prominent. Every country should human rights, I guess. It also has convention which promotes human dignity also. Many convention. Yes, also Beijing Declaration also was there. Woman dignity. And lot of research etc. goes to promote ethics in IR by United Nations. It has also code of conduct for civil servants also, global code of conduct. So that also becomes a way of promoting efficiency in civil services also. Yes, that is a standard. It doesn't mean it gives a benchmark that this should be followed. Also one more thing, you should also able to tell financial institutions with what they give. Financial aids, but some. Yes, but but broader structural aspects. ये तो आगे human rights. Yes, it also we studied. It talks about good governance, ethics in governance, democracy. Yes, it becomes also propagates ethics in governance, good governance through IR. If you want funding, you should have good governance, aid conditionality. So, what is good governance? Improving quality of governance, accountability, transparency, etc. That octagon. Remember? So tell values. First tell values of Nolan Committee. Not short form values. Others also tell. Assertiveness also. Ambitiousness. Exemplary behavior. And what are the 8 pillars of good governance? So the two words are efficiency and effectiveness, right? Okay. Probity and governance, more values will come. ARC2 also gives some values. So this is how it promotes. So it does lot of research, compliance for international relations. It gave some. It also gave some this structure, something like that. Code of ethics. IR guided by code of ethics. IR guided by business principles. IR guided by rules and acts. IR guided by compliance. So this model says, also it further says, decision making, there should be decision making, not compliance. In decision making, there is participation of all the stakeholders. Compliance is imposition. So in ethics in R, there should be decision making. Use emphasis on decision making rather than for governance rather than compliance. The structure he gives, it gives UN Code of Ethics in IR. Which country follows? Highly ethical relations. Scandinavian, okay. South Korea, North Korea also. Bhutan is not, does not have that broader international relations. It's morely through, I will put European Union. European Union. I think it opened doors to refugees also. I'd never in war or something. Next, I are guided by business principles. Yes, US, no doubt about that. No one is your permanent enemy, no one is your permanent friend. What is permanent is our permanent interest. Interests are only permanent. Are guided by rules and acts. Rules, acts. Yes, more or less you can put a lot of countries here. Put anyone. Don't put this countries, but. And compliance, that is imposition. Yes, to a certain extent Israel, Russia, yes, North Korea also. North Korea, Russia, Israel also. By compliance. So basically, ethical standards are also formulated by UN, United Nations Ethical Standards in International Relations. Does lot of research and etc. in international relations. So do refer UN also when you're writing on ethics in IR. See, the first is IR by Code of Ethics, that is EU. IR guided by Business Principles, USA. IR guided by Rules and Regulation. Put any country you want, democratic country, put democratic country only. IR guided by Compliance, that is imposition. Will be North Korea, Israel, Russia. So theoretical background of theoretical perspective is clear. These are not theories. Theories we'll discuss after this. It is ancient times is theoretical perspective as old as IR. That is ancient times. It has been emphasized certain standards that should govern international relationship. Like Kautilya had its own standards. Neighbor is neighbor, neighbor is enemy, and neighbor's neighbor is your friend. Also, a lot of things it talked about, and also further than in more Indian philosophy, also ethics in IR, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, peaceful existence. It also welcoming to other people from all over the world, and further in modern state when developed, territorial integrity and sovereignty came into being after Treaty of Westphalia. Then it promoted independence along with interdependence. That is, human values were prominent in determining the relationship between two countries. Even Mahatma Gandhi talked about humanity should be more important than territorial integrity. He was totally against the concept of territoriality. That's why he put human values at the highest pedestal than nationalism and patriotism. Human values is what connects humans, and that should be the governing basis for IR in ethics in IR. Further, United Nations also gave its standards. It does a lot of research and development, international relationship. It further says human rights should be given the prime motive, human rights and human values. Further, it has a lot of conventions on protecting culture, human rights, and women's dignity. Beijing Declaration is one such. See, culture, UNESCO culture heritage. When war happens, the warring nation are bound to protect their cultural heritage sites. You should not destroy those heritage sites. So that's why it also tries to promote the culture. Also further, it gave a global model of governance. Also, good governance, that financial agencies, good governance, ethical governance. That is, it giving aid that you should have this governance also in your country. Also for civil servants, it also have some codes. Further, it promotes democracy also. It should be democratic to receive aid from international agencies. That is also, that we discuss for governance, the aid condition, there should be rule of law. Rule of law, one of the pillars of governance. So in decision making, there should be decision making, that is participative decision making, not compliance. See, 1971 war happened. It was very easy to ensure compliance, to impose compliance. I guess 40,000, how many soldiers India had of Pakistan? 40,000. But we did not make any arbitrary, we did not ask for any arbitrary compliance. We did not say that you vacate Kashmir or we also, I guess, reached Lahore, I guess till Lahore, and we also vacated that. But Shimla agreement happened that you recognize Bangladesh as an independent country and we will give back you, I guess 90,000 soldiers we had, will give back your soldiers, and Jammu Kashmir issue will be solved between two countries only. There will be no third party involved in resolving the issue of Jammu and Kashmir. Kashmir, not Jammu. So that's why it's what decision making part is. Compliance or impose would have created more volatile neighborhood. So write down theoretical perspective. UN. Although ethics in IR that is the relationship between nation states, that is relationship between nation states can be considered as old as society. As old as society. Right, first Kautilya or Chanakya, who emphasized on ethics in IR. Second, Indian philosophy. Vasudev Kutumbakam. Being receptive to other ideas and practices. Receptive to other ideas and practices. Right, next. In modern times, the concept of nation state was born. Independence and interdependence became important. Independence and interdependence became important. Now writing paragraph. Next. Ethics in IR has been emphasized. Because human values are important. Human values are important than any other such values. And people have gone beyond. Human values are important than any such values, and people have gone beyond territorial sovereignty. Humans have gone beyond territorial sovereignty to help the people. Next, even Gandhiji rejected the concept of nationalism. based on territorial superiority. Even Gandhiji rejected the concept of nationalism based on territorial superiority. And propagated human values should be at the highest pedestal, should remain at highest pedestal over nationalism and patriotism. At the highest pedestal over patriotism and nationalism. Next, right, international agencies such as United Nations, established for promoting common good for the society, established for promoting common good for the society, which can be considered a sort of constitution of the world. Sort of constitution of the world. Which propagates shared values such as first, Human Rights Declaration, that treats every human as equal. It treats every human as equal. Next, it has conventions for respecting woman dignity and culture. Woman dignity. Human rights was first point. So now you write woman dignity and culture. Next, it has been promoting ethics in governance, through its research based on ethical practices in different countries. Next point. It has also drafted codes of conduct for ethics in civil services. Next, played an important role in popularizing democratic governance, good governance, ethics in governance, sustainable development, democratic governance, good governance, ethics in governance, sustainable development. Right in paragraph now, a kind of conclusion, that is UN is considered very significant United Nations is considered very significant not only for ethics in IR, not only for ethics in international relations, but also ethics as a concept and principle. Ethics as a concept and principle. Next, right, on the basis of its research, it has explained that countries which give emphasis on decision making are better governed countries, which gives emphasis on decision making, are better governed countries than countries that give emphasis on decision making are better governed countries than countries which give emphasis on compliance. This diagram बना लिया सबने? There are some theoretical explanation of ethics in IR. Moral realism. Common good. Anyone Paul science? Tell what is moral realism? No one Paul science here. Or people with Paul science not coming out. Moral realism first. Reality accept करना moral realism. Idealism. Moral realism in Aya. Moral realism. Reacting to okay. Moral realism. No idea. Okay. Yes, yeah, but she got it on right lines. It's about power. Power should be the base for ensuring peace and harmony in this nation, in the world. So power should be the main factor of having a relationship between one country and other. Power can only ensure peace and harmony. This is based on moral realism. Whenever have a relationship, it should be about dominance and power. That is as Kautilya also dominance and power. That power should be the main guiding force. This is what it talks about. Disputes among nations should be solved based on power. That is war. Power it interprets in terms of economic power, political power, military power, defense, etc. This is power. That should be the guiding force to solve any issue between countries. Power remains, even today, power remains the main factor of having a say in this world. Power, everything. Which country follows this? Yes, US. US largely moral realism. Power, it is also called as a what? Policeman of the world. Police of the world. Every major conflict it has intervened. Afghanistan, it was there too. Power, Taliban, Iraq, Vietnam, everywhere it has its hands. So because of power aspects, US power, that is moral realism to establish peace and harmony. Why it entered Afghanistan? To establish peace and harmony. Why it did Iraq? Weapons of mass destruction. But which one never found? George W. Bush. Just for power, it used power to establish peace and harmony. That is power. Also, but power corrupts. Absolute power corrupt. Absolutely, it goes against the principles of UN. What UN talks about? Human values, human rights, and woman dignity. It talks about this. Also, there was Guantanamo Bay, where Prisoners were kept, I guess, Guantanamo Bay near Mexico. They were very tortured, no human rights. They are waterboarded. Waterboarded, you understand waterboarding? पानी में ऐसे डुबा के रखना है इनको जब तक ना बोले ऐसे निकालो डालो निकालो डालो. Also a lot of they have they'll keep a prisoner in some chamber. They will decrease the temperature very frigid environment. They'll keep that. Then they transfer in very hot environment. This they torture Guantanamo Bay. That is use of power. What happens with this? It degrades humans' values. Yes, destroys human values because of moral realism. Further, it promotes inequality also. Relations are not based on equality between country A and country B. It is based on equality. But if we say Israel-Palestine, based on inequality, it also promotes groupism. Groupism? Yes, NATO. NATO is what? All groupism. National Atlantic Treaty Organization. There was CENTO, I guess, against the yes, CENTO. CENTO was also there, I guess. It is no more. CENTO. Also grouping BIMSTEC and SAARC. BIMSTEC is SAARC minus Pakistan. Grouping BIMSTEC. SAARC was getting dysfunctional due to obstruction by Pakistan. BIMSTEC, year 2, what will happen now? Bangladesh. You know these groupings? Certain countries come together to form a group for their own interest. BIMSTEC, SAARC are such groups. Bay of Bengal, multi-sectorial technical and economic cooperation. SAARC is also there. So, South Asia Association. Oh, yes, SAARC. Quad also. Grouping only Quad. Then APUS is also there, I guess. This is what it is about moral realism. It also makes world more non-peaceful. But it is reality also. All powerhouse unipolar world. US talks about unipolar world. Understand unipolar? There should be only one powerful country, not two. Hegemony. India talks about multipolar world. But actually there is bipolar world. US and China. Also Russia, invasion of Ukraine, moral realism justifies that use of power. That is moral realism. Any doubts in moral realism? Power of argument, not argument of power. Argument. Yes, okay, it talks about moral idealism. That it should be talk, and talk, not argument of power. Any relations should be based on talks. That's why one commentator on IR, there should be talk, and talk between India and Pakistan, no matter what happens. When if terrorist attack, there should be talks, and talks. Now there is no talks, I guess total breakdown of talks since I guess 19 or that Balakot etc. happened that time. Or how are you going to change your neighbor? The neighbor will always be there. Rather use soft diplomacy and solve those issues, whatever issues are there. That's why the bus diplomacy, everything was this only talk, not moral realism, rather moral idealism. Write down this moral realism, then we discuss moral idealism. Talks about philosophy of power. philosophy of power can alone establish peace and harmony in the world. It talks about philosophy of power can alone establish peace and harmony in the world. Next point, considers power as essential element for peace and harmony. Considers power as an essential element for peace and harmony, and as a basis for resolution of conflict and disputes, and is a basis for resolution of conflict and disputes, resolution of conflicts and disputes, resolution of conflicts and disputes between countries, among countries, use among. That is, conflict can exist among multiple countries. When you are using among, that is multiple things. Between is between two people. This philosophy is largely followed by US-led NATO bloc. This philosophy is largely followed by US-led NATO bloc. US-led NATO bloc. Write NATO this way. Okay, because in capitals, because there is a full form. It's not a word. Not Atlantic Treaty Organization. That's why the United States has intervened in many countries militarily to solve issues such as in Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, It also advocates for a unipolar world. It also advocates for a unipolar world. Unipolar, UNIPOLAR, unipolar. Unipolar. Only one pole should be there, that is unipolar. As power remains the important factor, yes, as power remains an important factor which is determined on the basis of power remains the important factor, which is determined on the basis of military might, determined on the basis of military might, economy, technology, polity, etc. This approach has been criticized and rejected. This approach has been criticized and rejected by agencies such as United Nations, as moral realism advocates dominance superiority, inequality, not equality, inequality. Due to this, the world has become more conflict prone. World has become more conflict prone. As it destroys human values, creates inequality among states, and promotes groupism. Now, what is moral idealism? What is moral idealism? Guess from realism, it will be opposite of realism, idealism. It was based on power. What? What is equality? Now, what is a value? Some moral values. IR should be based on some moral values. That is moral idealism. Moral idealism, the international relationship between countries, should be based on some moral values. Which are the moral values in IR in India? Now what is that? Yes, Panchil. Also, Panchil. हाँ वो आ गया पंचशील में. फेवरेट वैल्यू ऑफ एवरीवन. अतिदेव भव एंड वासुदेव कुटुंबकम. Yes, Gujarat doctrine. Modi ji, neighborhood first. Axis. Now neighborhood last. I still don't know what is the difference between locust and artist. What they asked me in the interview. Difference between locust and artist. जो था वही बोल. That time it was more engaging. Locust actress is more engaging than locust. Obama first said was not this government. Obama came in 2010, I guess, in India. 2009. That he said you should not only look east but also act east. That way it was said. Lot of things he had said. Oh, Mr. Obama. Good orator. Listen to his speech. A very good oratory. Charismatic personality. At the age of 44, I guess, he became President of the United States. That too twice. After that, what? Retirement. What is going to do? Highest office he has served. Now he goes to speaking fees they all collect. Life becomes difficult after having at the highest offices. What is left? He is very young also. He can't again go to politics. Only US, only 2 terms you can do. Not in like India forever. See that foresight. I guess they brought long before this amendment was brought in US. President can serve only 2 terms. Before that, 3-4 terms, they must have thought something might happen. Democracy may get compromised. Yes. India should also be there 2 terms. Why we have 5 years? 4 years plus 4 years is enough. In US it is 4 years, not 5 years. Not presidential, parliamentary. Okay, anyways, so it says moral values should be the basis of IR, that is Panchsheel, result doctrine, mutual respect. That at the heart of this should be human values and human rights. That should be promoted. That should become the basis of promoting peace, stability, and prosperity in the world. That is, rich countries should treat poor countries with equality, not on the basis of compliance. There should be no gain or loss. See, Gujarat doctrine also talks about neighbors who are smaller, we should not expect anything from them. Rather, we should give them in return. This is Gujarat doctrine. Also, it talks about that in terms of economy and trade, we should give preference to poor countries. We should not expect anything from them. This is all about the conflict happens because of what? Rich countries try to dominate poor countries. The Vietnam War, all about moral realism. Should be moral idealism. Such a big force, they could not beat people of Vietnam. Guerrilla force. Ho Chi Minh, I guess. Ho Chi Minh led this. They also divided Vietnam into 2. Then I guess now it's Malaysia is other Vietnam, I guess. They also divided on favorite policy of colonist and government also. Any government in this world, you organize a protest. They try to divide you. It's wrestler protest, initially that only happened. I guess one of their relatives was from the BJP, Babita Fogart, I guess. She gave them, I guess, mantra, don't politicize this, keep it neutral. Then I guess Brinda Karat came to that protest. They shooed her away. And after that, the protest got dissipated. The first protest happened. Then they reorganized for the second time. Then they understood this. Then they invited many political leaders also. And it's divide and rule they try to create. British highly successful divide and rule, the most successful policy, divide the people and rule. Yes, divide the people and rule forever. So that is conflict happens between this country because of compliance. Because of this, Nam was also born. You know Nam? Yes. Now it's become dysfunctional now. Nam was born philosophy between any two countries based on values. It's more lasting. See, when India got independent, the world was divided into two blocks, Russia and against this. So Nehru thought it will again lead to colonialism only, one block. So independent, non-aligned movement. Now it's not matched that functional also, I guess. Prime Minister doesn't go to NAM meetings also. Yes, virtual founder member is not going. But what can be the criticism of this? Okay, wait, one more application now. It also becomes the basis of promoting soft power. What is soft power? Based on culture, etc. How India promotes soft power? Yes, yoga, cricket, Bollywood, etc. Is Bollywood very famous in Afghanistan? Yes, sports. Afghanistan, Bollywood is very famous. Pakistan also. But yes, Korea also now. Korea, Japan also now, I guess. But in South Asia is more famous. Also, see, that's why cricket matches should happen between India and Pakistan. It will promote cohesive culture, interdependence. See, initially IPL was happening. Pakistani players were there. They are adopting Indian culture also. Many IPL players consider India as a second home. Interdependence, Western country, Australia, etc. Yes. Also South Africa. Now, if IPL Pakistani players they would have also more interdependence would have happened. Also, they wear Indian clothes also, etc. IPL final. That is more culture, soft diplomacy, culture propagation. Now, one neighbor has been isolated. There should be interdependence, not independence and isolation. Then there will be peace and harmony. People to people will meet. There will be meetings of minds and meetings of hearts. That's why Gandhiji said after partition, don't accept partition in your heart. That he made the statement, and after riots were happening, he went to Noakhali. The whole country was celebrating independence. He was in Noakhali. Riots were happening between two religions. There, very good foresight. That is moral realism only. Moral idealism also, Gandhiji and Nehru, how they defined relationship. That is based on values. That is moral realism. Now, what can be the criticism of this? Difficult to apply, but it's been applied also in, I guess, North America. Moral idealism only, where realism. North America, what war happened between US and Canada? Have you heard any time? Have you heard certain conflicts? Not even a single territorial dispute between Canada and USA. Canada, US, any issues? Moral idealism. But smaller countries here, Mexico, etc., they try to moral realism by US. I guess there, Cuba. Yes, Fidel Castro. That is the small big fish eating small fish. Moral realism for US, but not with Canada. Idealism there. So what can be criticism? Yes, situation also plays an important role. It's not that every time there should be moral idealism. Situation matters, situation differs. I'll give an example. Also, ideology of government in power, that also decides what should be the relationship. Now, this government different ideology. It's not now isolating Pakistan. Previous government, UPA time, more talk, engagement was not of there. Even after 2611, there was engagement. National interest also comes into the picture. Not that you keep propagating. So example, see, 1971 war happened. So should India adopted idealism only? It adopted realism. It trained the Bangladeshi people to fight for their freedom. Mukti Bahini. It also intervened also in flushing out the Pakistan there. It was moral realism. The situation matters. It can't be always idealistic. So this is largely moral idealism. Any issues here? It's more about participative decision making rather than compliance. Moral idealism, moral values it should propagate. So write down moral idealism. Moral values should become the basis of international relations. Moral values should become the basis for international relations. It can be Panchsheel policy. Panchsheel policy. Gujarat doctrine. That is mutual respect. Human values should remain at the heart of international relations. International relations. Next, rich countries. Should play an important role in peace and prosperity. Should play an important role in peace and prosperity. They should help poor and small countries. And small countries and relations should be based on certain standards and values. Rather than any gain or loss. Any gain or loss. Largely in terms of economic, trade and commerce. That is, values should dominate. That is, values should dominate rather than money and power. Add some illustration now. Country should not have its foreign policy. Illustration. Should not have its foreign policy at the dictates of any other country. Dictates. Dictates of any other country. At the dictates of any other country, dictate that a country should not dictate your foreign policy, right? Like China does in India's neighborhood, dictating the foreign policy. She went to China, some meeting, Sheikh Hasina, there she asked for help, economic help. China, they said, topple this, and she ran. So that is dictating. I'd forgotten to give you one illustration on CSR. At the end, I'll give. Rather, it should support international issues, and conflict between nations. On the basis of values rather than gain or loss. That's why NAM was born. Non-aligned movement. Non-allied movement. I guess who were the three? Nehru and Marshal Tito, Yugoslavia, and Nasser, Egypt. Nasser, someone on there. Nasser, these three people were the founders of NAM. Except India, both democracy became shaky. Egypt also and Yugoslavia also, I guess. Abdul Gamal Nasser. This philosophy became ideal for relationship between two countries. Ideal for relationship between two countries, but 2 plus countries, right? 2 plus, right? Don't write 2 plus. More than one country also, more than 2 countries also this relationship can have. But conflicts and issues in IR are also guided. But conflicts philosophy became ideal 2 plus because 2 plus country is not necessary 2 countries. A relation can be between group of countries also, G8, G7, G20, Security Council, P5 plus 1. What you have written? But in reality conflicts conflicts are guided, conflicts in IR are guided by, but in reality conflicts in IR are guided by first situation of that time, ideology of government in power. Next, ideology of government in power. National and international concerns. Next, therefore relations are not always based on ethical standards. If decision is analyzed in short run, if decisions are analyzed in short run, in long run country in the long run a country may have its own established standards. Next point, this is criticism. Next point, some international conflicts. Next point, some international conflicts demand use of hard power. Some international conflicts demand use of hard power, that is moral realism. You can write their example 1971 Bangladesh War. Next slide, India largely followed this philosophy. You write examples, Naam philosophy, such as Naam philosophy, respect for democracy, demography, propagation of soft power, such as Naam philosophy, respect for demography, democracy, propagation of soft power, such as yoga, International Yoga Day, Bollywood, cricket diplomacy, bus diplomacy, such as yoga, Bollywood, cricket diplomacy, bus diplomacy. Uh, Short term situation may not be proper. Some decisions will be taken which will be demand hard power. So that values may be against the propagation of that country's values in Aya, such as India helping Bangladesh. India is known as soft state. Moral idealism largely follows. In the short term, it was considered wrong. India is promoting violence. US, I guess, was against use of this military power. They sent their ship in Bay of Bengal. USS Enterprise, I guess. Yes. So now, if you analyze in the long run, it was right. India largely promotes moral idealism. This was moral realism. But in the long run, it propagated human values. So in that way, it means. Yes, established standards. So sometimes we switch to moral realism, sometimes moral idealism. That becomes the established standard for that country. So what is ethics of global commons? Now, first of all, you know what is global commons. What is global commons? नहीं पता? हाँ, क्या है सबके लिए common? Yes. Heavenly bodies, seas, water, air, Antarctica, Arctic, seas, global climate change. That is commons. Global commons. So, what should be the ethics in global commons? That how should we govern the global commons? As of now, yes, heavenly. As of now, UN has certain agency. UN has certain conventions on certain global commons. Arctic and Antarctica, it has UN clause, UN United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. It has some. Also in fishing, also it has certain depth of fishing cannot be. That is to promote environment, etc. How what should be governed. But also there are certain aspects which are not yet explored. Heavenly bodies, Mars, etc., Jupiter. What should be this? What should be the governance aspect of that? Satellites. Also, cyber security. Also, it doesn't say much. Now, cyber warfare happens between countries. But what about what rules should be there? Cyber warfare. Now, suppose a small USA targets cyber of smaller countries, highly vulnerable. There is a gray area about that. So, ethics in global commons is about rules and regulation ethics that should follow global commons, whatever the sustainable development, etc. is all about common commons. And how it's different from ethics of common good now. What is common good now? Ethics of global commons, ethics of common good. Now, what is common good? Global commons, you know what is common good. Don't write same thing. The question comes, ethics of common good is different from ethics of common global commons. Then you will be trapped. Question comes on ethics on common good, you will write ethics of global commons only. Yes, that benefits everyone, such as human values, largely deals with global good, that is good for everyone. Now, good, what is good for everyone? Yes, Aristotle, propagated by Aristotle. Good was viewed in terms of happiness. Also, wrongs also to a certain extent. Justice. It should be justice should be there. That is common good. This is ethics of common good. It talks about the people. Global commons about more about environment, which is common, heavenly bodies, water, air, global commons. That is global commons. It talks about people. These also basic needs for the people should be met. What are the basic needs? Roti, kapda, makan. Three. One more three are added. Basic needs. रोटी कपड़ा मकान और क्या चाहिए तुम्हें? हाँ, फैमिली, हाँ, रोटी कपड़ा मकान, मनी, बेसिक नीड. हाँ, that is okay. Basic need approach. रोटी कपड़ा मकान, बिजली, सड़क, पानी. That is basic need. 6. केजरीवाल जी emphasizing बिजली, सड़क, पानी, रोटी कपड़ा मकान. Basic need approach. This is all common good it talks about. This is the difference between ethics of global commons and ethics of common good. Ethics of global commons more about what should be the regulation, what should be the standards of regulating global commons, air, water, glaciers, Antarctica, heavenly body, Jupiter, Mars, moons of Mars. What are the moons of Mars? 3 moons, I guess. Jupiter. I forgot. Anyways, that heavenly bodies it should. Ethics of common goods more for people. People. Common good for the people, the society. Global commons. हाँ, क्या? हाँ, I think that is differentiated they have made. Ethics of global commons and common good. Common good refers to people, but ethics of global commons is not referred to people. It refers to the common good, common global commons. Okay, that is just a technical difference. You should know that. Write down ethics of global commons. Relates to land, water, air resources which are air, relates to land, water, air resources which are common. How these resources should be utilized. How these resources should be utilized for common benefit for all. For common benefit for all. Next slide, common resources also include common resources also include high seas, space, Antarctica, Arctic, and heavenly bodies. Next, as of now, to some extent, UN has, as of now, to some extent, UN, United Nations, has some conventions but still it does not deal with issues such as cyberspace security. Still, it does not deal with issues such as cyberspace security. Commons are also, next slide, commons are also essential for the survival of human being. Commons are also essential for the survival of human being. There's environment, global warming, etc. Therefore, there should be some common standards. Therefore, there should be some common standards to deal with such issues. To deal with such issues. Now, next keyword is ethics of common good. Ethics of common good, next heading. Ethics of common good deals with collective benefit for the society. Collective deals with collective benefit for the society. This philosophy has been promoted by Aristotle, John Rawls, Aristotle you connect with happiness, and Rawls you connect with justice, theory of justice. That is common good. These largely with the people. Next point. These largely with the people. Promoting basic needs. That is roti, kapda, makan, bijli, sadak, pani. बिजली सड़क पानी. Whereas ethics of global common deals with global resources, For which nation state? For which nation states still do not have jurisdiction? And absence of common law? For its use. For its use. Absence of common law for its use. 7:15, 7:10. See, corporate governance. We talked about CSR. CSR, I just showed you this once. Corporate. This is poor. CSR to help the poor. Okay, but corporate itself has created this poor. You know how? Many things. Land acquisition. Corporate acquires this tribal land. Tribals are thrown out. They are here. Now, they have become poor. No rights to collect in the forest. Then they do CSR to them. Corporate. Suppose farmers of pass, they will set up one big manufacturing, food processing, acquire this all this land. Now here one land farmer is doing farming in 1-2 acres, will release effluents here, destroys crops, created the poor. Then again CSR to help that poor. Okay, then this is where we stopped. We'll meet tomorrow. Tomorrow, hopefully, questions, printouts will come. We'll do answer writing. We'll do case studies. Yes, don't want to do case studies, only theory. Let's see. We'll sit for more time. 7:30 or 7:45. Okay.